didn't want there's so much tension in town. It took BJ Darocha to censure him publicly, criticize him.
All right.
In 2012,
I guess you've made this point
yes,
already.
but in 2012, to look at the excuse that he gave. This is the excuse that they used to call on their supporters to mass up at Obrasport. Their supporters went there engaged in violence, and then they went to court to sing a different tune. The point I'm making is that the NPP told a lie when they said that the 2012 elections had been rigged. So if they go around now telling their supporters the elections are won at the polling station, let their supporters know that if they go there and misbehave and secure a fraudulent result, a court can overturn it. But the reason why 2012 was not overturned was that there was no fraud, as claimed by the NPP. So they have used lies.
All right.
But as for his blackberries undemocratic tendencies, it is not.
I'm grateful.
Nobody
Felix,
has done more to undermine the country's peace in the last few years than him. Why? Was he not the one who went to Etiwa?
Okay, Felix, I'm grateful.
Etiwa, Yeshe Bibi Kakra. All that be done. Which presidential candidate has
I'm grateful.
No,
Felix,
right.
I'm grateful.
Did he not say all that be died?
Right, he said it. But
did he not say all that be died?
Well, he said it.
Did he not say Etiwa, Yeshe Bibi Kakra?
Let's move on.
Did he not
because
say
I think
Etiwa,
that you have made the point already.
Absolutely. So,
all right.
If my point has been made, then that's good. Let's move on.
I'm grateful. Let's stay with the Daily Graphic this month because this issue keeps coming up again, and is he worried about the fact that the media might call the results? Alex, should the EC be overly worried about this? Because certainly the media will go ahead and call the result, but not to say that these are results, official results, I guess.
Last Friday, I tried to quote from Chino Achebe's Things Fall Apart about this dry bones and old women and shivering and all that. Can you assist me, Bright? You remember that quote? Felix.
You ask
Felix.
Why didn't you read Things Fall Apart?
That's why I said I've forgotten.
I also remember it. I'm not here to supply you with it.
All right.
Very well. Not to even assist.
I'm not going to assist.
Okay, so I'll try and paraphrase the way viewers can follow.
Okay.
Yes, that when issues of dried bones are mentioned or are discussed, ordinarily it shouldn't be of worry.
Right.
But people who know they are getting closer to the grave begin to shiver.
The
NDC. I thought you were not.
Especially, you get so upset.
Felix,
the proverb applies to you.
Allow
Actually,
him to.
I've allowed you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alex, please go.
Well, he's going to talk again. There's no problem. You see, I don't understand the worry of the Electoral Commission. Now, Madame Charlotte Osei has taken her PR game plan to the international stage. Really? Really?
Why? She can't
No.
speak to the international
No, she can speak to them. But let her understand that Ghanaians are wide awake. And my honorable IGP, Dr. Kudolo, I hope I've mentioned his name right, he's talking about shutting down social media. Why? The media has always been part of our elections. If they've declared at the polling station and the media is declaring it, what is wrong with it? What is the EC afraid of? They would always put the facts out there. Why? Would it be wrong for you, Bright, to have a correspondent in Efutu who would report on election night that Afenyo Markin has been successfully elected and he's looking at the figures? Afenyo Markin is likely to be the winner. Would it be wrong? Is that what the Electoral Commission is afraid?
These are not
of course, these are
certified results.
You don't even need to say certified. These are the results.
No, we cannot say that.
I mean, this is as you see it until the EC has not declared it. But these are the facts. What are they afraid of? What is the NDC afraid of?
No, the NDC.
They are. They have. Why? Anytime you talk about Electoral Commission, if you give him the opportunity, he'll come and defend the Electoral Commission. The NDC knows that it is losing this election. In fact, if you look at the conduct of Mr. President for the past 4 weeks, the man who has become known as a good communicator has suddenly been talking. You know the difference between talking and communicating? If you talk, you just talk. If you communicate, people are able to quote you and able to make a meaning out of what you say. Today, the NDC will say, oh, Nanado, he cannot hold his party together. You have sacked 23 members of your party because you think they are rebels. Today, because somebody says that, yes, it's him, your macho men, in the full glare of Mr. President, they attack somebody. It's reported all over in the media.
The president was there.
Oh, please. Please, right. The president cannot claim to be unaware of this. He is aware. He is aware of this. That is how intolerant the president is. If you look at what is happening in this country, the president goes somewhere, you claim you've done so many projects. Now Mr. President goes out to campaign. He's unable to tell his own story. Now he says, oh, and Anadu is likely to distool chiefs because if he disagrees with you, he would get you distilled. Is that a message?
How is that linked to the EC getting worried about media?
Yes,
the results?
I would let you know the linkage.
Wrap up from Kogi.
I am trying to tell you that the government, having overstayed its welcome, the government having been in office for 8 years, and knowing that it is clear, the signs are just clear, that it's going to lose elections, would want to use all manner of means. And like I said, the recruitment of temporary staff is one major area of rigging, and I'm even urging all MPP candidates to be wary when they publish the names of those temporary staff.
Alex,
watch out for them.
You see,
and I'm saying that
I think that this kind of statement is a bit worrying.
Really, you think
Yes,
so?
I think so.
I disagree with you. They are not worried.
How can
We
you
need
just
to
say that recruitment of staff is a way through which the EC can win?
Okay, right.
Okay.
That's a good question. Hold on. Once it's not rhetorical, I'm going to answer you. Right. I've contested elections, assemblyman, PM, MP, PC, over 7 elections. You are a journalist. You are not a politician. I'll tell you what. You see, somebody can be tearing a paper. In tearing the paper, he or she is supposed to fold it. She can just hold it. That is where the person belongs to a political party and has found his or her way there. That is the business the person is going to do. Let me give you a real example again. The Warababa issue. Warababa has a registered voter population of less than 350. They had finished counting around 5:30. This presiding officer was refusing to do the entry. She was just standing there. Unknown to us, she knew, he knew there was a plan. People had worn masks and had a ballot box. So he waited around 7:30, still there. There was light off. We brought generator. He was still not going to do the entry. Apparently, they had that box. I'm telling you that presiding officer, without doubt, had been planted there by the NDC. I'm telling you a real situation. I have told you this morning about the Honorable Freddie Blaze situation, where over 3,000, don't you have that record? 3,000 people, all-spoiled ballots, very unprecedented, and I'm surprised Honorable Blaze has not written on this, or nobody has no researcher has taken an interest on this matter. This was a serious fraud against Freddie Blaze.
So it was an allegation.
No. I'm saying that
he suspects that.
I am not that it's a fact that 3,000. That was not the first elections.
And so he suspects
that somebody destroyed
the vote. There was fraud.
Exactly. So I'm telling you that the recruitment of temporary staff, there may be people who may put their people there, who may have interest there. And I'm saying that
if you make that point, I'm fine. But to say that it is a way for EC to rake.
Right. Don't forget that I am sitting here making a political statement, not a legal statement.
No.
All right?
But Alex, it doesn't mean that you should, because of that, you should make any
I won't make a sweeping one.
If you suspect it could be fine. But if you say the EC is recruitment, it's not too comfortable.
Right.
Yes.
How does EC determine the independence of those temporary staff?
Well, I am.
The only thing I publicly know is that there should be no evidence that you've ever worn a party t-shirt, or you must not be known as a registered card-bearing member of a political party.
Right.
But then, today is exactly 30 days to the elections. I would have thought that by this time, the recruitment would have been over. Names of all those people given to us to do our due diligence. I don't know when those names will be available.
Okay.
And if
Alex,
you are
I
not
have
careful,
3 more minutes.
Very well. If you are not careful and you just find these
finish.
people at the polling station on election day wearing EC vest, and you know that person is a party person, and I'm telling you that these are the people who are put in there, and on this occasion and on this occasion only, I dare say that is the specialty of the NDC. That is where they invest.
I'm grateful.
Now that they realize
Alex,
they're going to lose, they are investing in temporary staff where there are people who get in. They say national service. They say this so that people will change figures. And that is where we are aware of. We are telling you that if you do it, you yourself will want to disturb the peace of this country. So advise yourself, Alex, because you are losing the election.
Felix, we're talking about EC getting worried about the media calling the results. Alex decided to go off.
No, but you see what Alex is doing is classic propaganda. Check the MPP's behavior. Ever since this particular flag bearer got on board, their rhetoric has gotten dark. They have gotten more violent. They behave like a militant organization and not the so-called intellectual organization that they are supposed to be. Check their conduct. Since 2008, this is how they've been talking. All die be die. Ghana will become like Afghanistan. What do you call it? Ghana will become like Cote d'Ivoire. That's all.
But he claims Professor Mills also said Ghana.
Look, I can dig up that statement Professor Mills read. If you see anywhere that President Mills said Ghana will become like Cote d'Ivoire, I will leave my position as deputy minister. Google it. Like Kenya. Like Kenya.
But you read the
yes,
you read the
because I
you know it.
Listen, I use it to buttress my point.
But read it.
I beg you will keep quiet for me to make my point.
But did you keep quiet for me?
Yes, I kept quiet.
No, you didn't.
You see, so they have a flag bearer who believes in the use of violent rhetoric for achieving political ends. It is not for any reason why when you ask him a simple matter about the EC being worried about the media calling elections, he goes into that tirade about Reagan. Look, check their history. Since they were initially formed as a GCPP, later, the UGCC, later the UP, PP, and all the various shades that they've existed, NLM. Every election that they've lost in Ghana, they claim was rigged. Even when they were in power in 2008 and they lost elections, they said it was rigged. So viewers watching us know that this is not a party that ought to be taken seriously. Instead of going to the people and asking them nicely, they think they can use a sense of entitlement to demand votes from the electorate and don't do what they have to do. They sit on radio and engage in bluster, empty rhetoric, boastful recklessness. And when we go down to do the work, backed by evidence of work we've done as a government that has improved the lives of people, and we whip them at elections, they claim that it's been rigged. The EC is simply saying that media organizations should not act in ways that undermine the peace. Because if you go and call elections and you make a mistake and say that party A will win, and it turns out that actually party B is the one that won, you will create confusion. Right. The only body allowed to declare results is the Electoral Commission, and they do it in a meticulous fashion. Look, all parties monitor the results. But when you are a party and you've monitored the results and you even know the results ahead of the official declaration, you don't go ahead to announce that you've won, because it is entirely possible that you may have made a mistake in your computation. And perhaps you will go and announce results that are not accurate. If the EC comes to announce contrary results, which may even be the actual situation, it can create confusion. So it is within that context that the Electoral Commissioner is speaking. That is the context within the Electoral Commissioner is speaking. Why? The NPP are on record. They are the only party on record that declared themselves winner of an election in 2004. Again, the same late Jacob Chebilamte at the Castle Gardens. But for the forbearance of Professor Mills, again, it could have created confusion. So I'm not surprised that Alex is raving and ranting and threatening fire and brimstone. It is in keeping with their flag bearers' philosophy of all that be dying violence. Look at what they've done to their own party. People who oppose him either have acid poured on him or they are butchered. Two people have died.
We can stay away from
you see,
that, because
how can we stay away? No, he's the one who is delving into
your point.
Yes,
right?
but are these not facts? Is it not a fact that a prominent figure in the NPP died because acid was poured on him because of internal wranglings? Is it not true that a supporter of DS was stabbed to death at Asawasi? Is it not true that between 2014 and the end of 2015, the police had to go to the NPP headquarters 10 times because of various violent confrontations arising out of disagreements that some people had with the leadership style of their flag bearer? So who should bear responsibility for that chaos and violence? Me or my mom? Me.
Good.
Who should bear the responsibility for that? Me. Right. Should I be held responsible for the violence in the NPP?
All right.
So this is a party that does not appear to be interested in having a smooth electoral process. At every turn, they make frivolous accusations at all state institutions. If they don't attack the IGP, then it is the Supreme Court. If they don't attack the Supreme Court, it is the Electoral Commission. If it's not the Electoral Commission, then it is Otunfo who has spoken to judges to favor Prez.Mahama in an election. This is how they have behaved.
Okay, all right.
Why? Their flag bearer,
we'll
listen, their flag bearer stood in Amsterdam last year and said that Prez.Mahama or government was colluding with the EC to rig this election. So the international community should act so that when Ghana falls into chaos, they don't come and say how it happened. So it is not surprising that Alex is following that. That is the marker that has been laid down for them. All of them are supposed to toe the line of their flag bearer. And the violent rhetoric, which started in 2008, went to his peak in 2012 when he commended his party youth for engaging in violence at Itiwa, is what they are following. So I'm not surprised. But we in the NDC, we believe in peace. Yesterday, we went and shook their so-called stronghold. You saw the president's rally at Asawasi. It is a record crowd. It is the biggest crowd recorded in Ashanti region in recent history by any political party. So instead of working hard,
the crowd to
listen. Instead of working hard to ensure that they consolidate their gains in their stronghold, like Mr. S.K. Buafu said, that there's something wrong with the MPP in the Ashanti region. Today, when their flag bearer goes there, you don't get the same feeling that you got when President Kufuor went there. We are getting 1.5 million votes in the Ashanti region on the basis of our good record. That is what they should be worrying about. And stop threatening the people of this country with violence at every time.
Let's wrap up.
All that be done.
Let's wrap up.
It's okay.
Let's wrap up the conversation.
By way of wrapping up this conversation, you see the way they are desperate. There's nobody governing this country at the moment. The chief of staff is in Volta region begging. Samun Fanchen.
Why? Right. In 2008, we had 4 campaign teams. Prez.Mahama led one as vice presidential candidate. President Mills had one. President Wallace had one. General Mosquito.
Right. So is it waiting to listen to a brother in silence?
So we have the same thing. You have one flag bearer who does one campaign, one landing, one campaign tour, one landing. One campaign tour, one landing. If you won't boost his morale by giving him other teams to campaign, that's your own problem. We have our strategy. So you sit there and complain. We are reaching every corner of this country. We are coming to your stronghold to take 1.5 million votes, 30% of the votes from your stronghold. And we will beat you one touch again this time round, so that you don't come and waste Ghanaians' time with frivolous court proceedings.
Yes, Alex, please wrap up.
So if their campaign strategy is one campaign tour, one London, fine. We have 4 teams, and we are very confident that it will work for us.
Alex,
yes.
All right. Okay.
I'm sure the producer...
Yeah, we have run out of time. 5 minutes after 8 o'clock.
Okay. The chief of staff is in the Volta region, begging. The chiefs in the Volta region have told the NDC that they are tired of them. Today,
which chief?
Felix tells all of us.
Which chief? Which chief? Mention the chief, the name of the chief.
Alex, go ahead and wrap up.
No, go ahead. If he's interjecting, you can. Because I mean, if now we can't talk.
All right.
No. If now I can't talk. And right, you will not.
All right.
Your producer to allow me to talk.
No, Alex, I am grateful. I'm just giving you. Alex, I'm grateful. I've run out of time.
I hope that his flag bearer follows you. He learns from Alex, who has considered defeat early enough.
Right.
So that we can go continue with
Alex, can you wrap up in just 30 seconds for me? I'm taking 5 minutes of my time.
All right, go ahead. You have the rest of the time.
Alex, please. Just
I won't say he's been unruly this morning.
No, okay,
I won't say anything.
You see, today, Felix says that Nanado should take responsibility for anything untoward that happens in his party. Have we ever seen or heard the president of the republic taking responsibility for the mess, the chaos in this economy? Can I finish? Can I finish?
All right, okay.
He took responsibility.
Okay, Felix, please allow him to. I have run out of time, so allow Alex to wrap up for me.
But we need to correct the distortions.
Alex, hurry up.
We need to correct the distortions.
So, okay, can I not say?
You've considered
this economy, the state of joblessness, which has even caused fear and panic at the EC. Because Madame Charlotte says that one of the things that may affect a peaceful elections is the worsening state of unemployment. Has the president admitted to his incompetence and his failure in addressing the economic challenges?
Alex, I'm grateful.
Right.
Let's wrap up here. I'm grateful for your time.
Last week, Wednesday,
Alexander Markin is a member of parliament for the Futu constituency. Felix Kwachu-Fosu is the Deputy Minister of Communication. Gentlemen, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for your time this morning. Sorry, we ran deep into the time.